Pleasure of working with some of the dopest brands and people in the country and in the world, including Eric Nine, Urban Hippie. Shout out to the Be Aware Foundation, and shout out to this initiative that we are putting together to share with you guys today. But before we get into a lot of that, I want to introduce you to the purveyor of this fine establishment that has got this wall ready for us to crack a lack on. So put your hands together for Fresh.
Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. If you're feeling good, let me hear you make some noise. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all coming out on this beautiful Sunday, which that's exactly what it's. Eric, we couldn't have picked a better day. You know, we've been trying to do this for a couple of months, and it just didn't line up, and then it lined up perfectly to have a beautiful day. It's no rain, it's not too hot, it's not too cold, and everybody being able to make it out here. But shout out to Daniel. Y'all make some noise for Daniel Dickey. I love this guy right here. Like he said, I am the owner, operator of East Atlanta Treehouse. We're a fairly new establishment with this concept and this brand as far as being a health food restaurant, venue, and bar. You know what I'm saying? We're doing something a little bit different. We're merging the health conscious and not so health conscious. So our tagline is we're kind of healthy. So you can come in here 7 days a week and get some healthy food. We got acai bowls, we got wraps, and we also got pizzas and hot dogs and things of that nature. And then we got non-alcoholic beverages and alcoholic beverages. So it's something for the entire community here at East Atlanta Treehouse, and that's what we're about. We're about the community. So when Eric approached me about redoing the wall, I was 100% for it, and I want to do more things like this, more activations when it comes to the creative community, but also the visual murals, paintings, and all kind of stuff of that nature. So that's what we're here for, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it and have these amazing artists. This wall looks so amazing. So I'm just grateful for being here. If y'all could just continue to support East Atlanta Treehouse. We are currently going through a battle with our new landlord, and they're trying to force us out. You know what I'm saying? And if they force us out, then we don't have spaces and places, safe space and places for stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? So please continue to support us. If y'all could, follow us on Instagram. It's EAV Treehouse. Stay connected with the movement. We're going to be putting a petition out and stuff like that to kind of fight against the machine that's trying to force the creative community out. And it's like, why would you want to force the creative community out of East Atlanta? That's what we're here for. That's what this community is about. So I appreciate y'all. You know, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer because we're here to celebrate, celebrate excellence on so many different levels. So please make some noise for the muralists and all of the art on the walls. Please, 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 please. And Eric had something to do with the previous art that was on the wall, which is also amazing. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to just keep that going. So once again, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Please continue to support art, creativity. Please continue to support the venue and what we got going here on a daily basis. And with that being said, I want to bring the man to help bring this whole thing together, man. Y'all make some noise for the one and only Eric Nine.
Hey, what's up? Edmund, come up here with me. So this is a Twisted Circus production. Twisted Circus is me and my brother here, Edmund, and we just kind of try to make productions that are not boring. I wanna introduce all of the artists, but first I want to say thank you to everybody that's here. A special thank you to all these artists that are going to come up and introduce themselves. They donated their time and their own resources. So I think that just says a lot of what the Atlanta creative artistic scene really is here. We're out here about our business, and we're not afraid to invest in ourselves and into the community. You want to say something?
I appreciate everybody that came out. It was definitely an honor for me to even be able to come out here and to contribute in the way of a mural. It was my first one.
Let's go! Which one is it?
Oh yeah, so it's the one down here with the mushroom. Kind of near and dear to my heart. So yeah, just to be able to come out amongst other great artists and contribute and everything like that. I appreciate y'all coming out here to take a look at it.
I want to give a big shout out to Urban Hippie, man. Y'all make some noise for E. He's a very humble guy, you know what I'm saying? But He's a very active person in the community. I've been knowing him for years, and I'm grateful that we can get your first mural on this building, man. So y'all make some noise for him with this first mural, man, because that's amazing. Good job, brother. Good job.
All right, so the first artist I'm gonna ask to come up is Uncle Bree, and she did that small piece. She actually did that today because of the weather. And then Scape, you get to talk after. So whenever you're done, just call Scape. Tell them who you are, where they can follow you at, and something about the community.
I'm Uncle Bree. I'm on Instagram as Uncle Bree. This is actually very exciting for me because this year I really am putting a lot of energy towards establishing myself as a muralist. So I was really grateful for the opportunity to come from Eric to go ahead and add my collaboration to this piece. It was very exciting. I'm based in Waycross, which is like 4 hours from here, but I do come to Atlanta to do artsy things. So this has been really exciting. So this piece is actually my dive into abstract-ish art. I've always been real big on realism, and I wanted to kind of experiment more in my practice. So I'm way down here right by Eric's piece. It's like a little small abstract portrait, and it was originally an oil painting, but I wanted to see how it would look on a larger scale. So that's where I come, that's where that piece came from. And the community is important to me, of course, because we're all here to inspire each other. We're all here to be here for each other, especially during this time and where things are a little heightened and a lot of things are going on. So being able to come together for the sake of art, for the sake of collaboration is really important. So yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, and my Instagram is @UncleBree.
Y'all make some noise for her one time, man. And make some noise for her little one that she got with her. You know what I'm saying? We're molding the next generation. You dropped your bear. Don't forget the bear now. We need the bear. We're about to have a whole war out here over that bear. All right, y'all make some noise for the next artist, Scapezilla.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Man, this was a really cool project. Me and Eric painted this building. I painted right here, and Eric painted right here during COVID. And that was crazy because East Atlanta was really wild at that time, but we had a good time doing it. Really stoked that we got to keep the wall and do it again. Shout out to Treehouse and Eric for doing that. This is a really fun project. Got to paint with some friends. Got to paint with Pato for the first time, who absolutely fucking murdered it. So shout out to her for just making us all look bad. Really cool, got to collaborate with Lacey. So I did the snake piece here, and it's kind of a departure from a lot of my stuff because I come from like the graffiti background, so a lot of my stuff is letter-based. But I kind of want to just break it out a little bit. So I've been trying to do less letters the last couple of years and, just kind of expand my whole repertoire and stuff. So I painted the snake. It's the year of the snake. Yep. And some of those smaller flowers. And then Lacey here, she did these beautiful, larger, pink, expressive flowers coming in on the bottom. Shout out to Lacey. She did them so effortlessly and expressively. I was like, wow, fucking just so cool just to watch her do it. But yeah, fun project. Thanks y'all for coming out and supporting. Super dope. My Instagram is @Scapezilla. So please follow me. I'll follow back. Thanks y'all.
So I got one question for him, and really for all the artists, but I just want to individually. What does it mean, or what do you hear or feel when you hear community over competition?
Oh man, me and Eric kind of talked about it before, and sometimes this whole art scene gets very competitive in Atlanta, and there's a lot of like gatekeepers and stuff like that. And I think what Eric was telling me was like, we need to just work together and not against each other and like lift each other up. So yeah.
Y'all make some noise for that one time. And that is the basis and the foundation of this whole project and what Eric and I have been talking about and how this came about. And that's another thing that I'm just about in general, giving everybody opportunity, giving the up and coming people opportunity, giving the little guy opportunity. It doesn't have to be, you know, you got 1 million followers on Instagram and stuff like that. Are you talented? You know, are you passionate about what you're doing? Are you a good person? You know, do you deserve an opportunity? Everybody deserves an opportunity, because even those big people, they got started with the opportunity, you know, and it's like, if you don't allow people the opportunity to grow, then what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So that's what this whole project is about, community over competition. That's what this establishment is about, community over competition. So y'all make some noise for the movement one time. All right, we're gonna bring the next artist up, Pato. I'm sorry. Y'all make some noise for Pato one time.
I'm Pato. You can find me on Instagram at Pato Paints. Just want to thank you guys for being here and just sharing space. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here, which is really amazing. Yeah, this mural was super dope. Thank you, Treehouse, and thank you, Eric Nine, and anybody else involved for making this happen and letting us express ourselves in a really meaningful way. I mean, the theme of the mural wall, community over competition, I kind of wanted to like reflect that in my piece, with this character just like telling her friend like, yo, come in. And it was inspired by this gif of a little frog in like a toy helicopter car that was like, no time to explain, just get in. And I wanted to like capture that with her, like, you know, telling her like, hey, let's go on an adventure. She just came back from Hidalgo, which is in Mexico, my hometown. And I wanted to also capture community through like the different elements that they wear. So I know Eric Nine has, you know, Twisted Circus and his elephant, so I wanted to capture some of those stripes in there and tie that into like my characters that I have. And I also wanted to take a different spin on it as well through like the ribbon and the patterns on the car. So the ribbon is actually Palestinian cross-stitching patterns, which is called Tatrice. And if you're interested to hear like in grander detail what those symbols represent, I could definitely have that conversation with you. And then overview, so each different icon has a different representation. So there's a feather in there, there's a heart, barbed wire, and an olive tree, which are all pretty like significant in Palestine. And then the pattern on the top of the car, that's patterns from my indigenous culture, which is Otomi and Hidalgo, Mexico. So that's where I come from, and those are my ancestors. So I wanted to really tie in 2 different patterns from completely different places in the world and have them exist and take up space in real life on a wall. So yeah, I just wanted to have like a really colorful, magical feeling, because I feel like the world is fucked up right now and everything's so heavy. So just to bring some light and color to the world was kind of where I was going. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Hope everybody enjoys.
All right, so I have to ask you the same question, you know. What do you think, feel, and hear when you hear community over competition?
I think relief. I think Atlanta is like one of the most diverse art hubs that I've been to. Last year I spent some time in the Bay Area and also in Chicago. And seeing how diverse those places are. I mean, Oakland is like divided by a literal bridge. Like you go across like the bridge and like, you know, you have like wider, more like old money communities, which are beautiful, but then you have the other side and it's like minorities and everything feels so segregated. And in Chicago as well, you have, you know, like the Chicano like communities, and then you have like, you know, in the city more different communities. Here, I feel like we're all intertwined. I mean, if you look around, there's so many different faces and beautiful people here of all like parts of the world, different colors, everything. And I think for me, it really embodies what Atlanta's moving towards, and I love that.
That's beautiful. Y'all make some noise for her one time. Man. That's what it's about. It's about bringing everybody together, and art does that on so many levels. If you didn't realize that or know that, art brings so many different backgrounds, communities, colors, shades, everything together through art. Whether it's visual art, whether it's music, whether it's dance, and essentially these are all different communities. You know, people coming from different backgrounds, and that's what this is about. So y'all make some noise one more time for that. All right, the next artist we're going to bring up is Zaldi. Y'all make some noise, make some noise, make some noise.
Hello. I'm scared. Okay. Well, I'm Nicole Merisalde. I'm Colombian and Greek, and my piece is right here. I'm also known as Zaldi Paints, because it's hard to say Merisalde, so Zaldi. But a lot of my pieces are inspired by being Greek and Colombian and what it's like having two cultures and like what that looks like, because a lot of people want to put you in a box. But this piece was special to me. It doesn't have as much meaning as Patos. She absolutely killed that. Killed it. But I was telling Eric this week that I had really missed spray painting because all of the gigs I've had lately have been very corporate and serious and like graphic designy towards what the client wants. But even if I wasn't a full-time muralist, I would still find time to spray paint, and he allowed that. And I had missed it so much, genuinely. So seriously, thank you. I know I told you that earlier, but I want everyone to know, because it really is, it sounds like artsy fartsy and really corny, but it makes my life so happy, and like all of our lives so happy, to have art and just being able to do what you want to do. So I can't remember the next question. What was it? What community means? Or what was it?
Community over competition.
Oh my God, of course, the main theme of the entire thing. The economy has been terrible, and it's been so extra competitive and stressful. And I like think back on some years of when I first started, everyone was so buddy and like excited, and now it feels like everyone's shutting themselves out and becoming competitive. So it's nice that you're giving us this reminder. Like, I feel like we're all happier when we're just painting together and having a good time and not feeling like it's doomsday. Like, I'm also very dramatic. I don't know if that's not like totally obvious, but it's a good reminder, because it is hard out here, and we forget that we're doing this because it's enjoyable. So like, this was a great reminder, and it made me really happy painting with everyone. So yeah, that's it.
One more thing. Social media.
Zaldi Paints, right there. Please. Oh, can I say one more thing about future work? Another thing I'm really excited for is, like, with the Greek work I'm doing, I'm also building up a blog where I write my own mythologies that kind of, like, the next one I have upcoming, I'm painting in Mexico, and I'm doing this piece where I think about the trauma I had as a kid, and I used to daydream a lot. So the piece is going to be inspired by like a Greek god that gives a child the chance to daydream so they could escape from their hard life situation in the moment. So I would appreciate if you'd like to see that journey. You could see it through Instagram. So yeah, that's it.
Well, make some noise one time, man. We gotta support the journey. We gotta support the movement. It's great to hear an idea and then be able to visually see it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all make sure y'all follow her on social media. And I have them say the social media because that's what I've been trained to do. But they are on all of the paintings. So if you missed it or if you didn't need the spelling, check out all the paintings. They have their social medias. So the next artist we're gonna bring up is Lacey. Lacey.
Hello. Thank you. Empty, dirty cup. Hey, I'm Lacey Longino, and I just threw up some flowers, so I really didn't paint that much, but it's been super great to be here because I kind of get focused in my own little world and disappear for a while. So it's been amazing to just come out, see what all of these amazing artists have been doing, and get to catch up and see faces that I haven't seen in a while. So yeah, thanks to Eric 9, to Treehouse, thank you guys. And what's the other question?
I feel like that's disrespectful.
Community over competition, what does it mean to me? I think there's room for everybody at the top, and I just think things like these events and these groups of people getting together, I think it's so important, and it reminds you what the point of it all is. And I think however, whatever tells you, whether it's what you're seeing on the internet or the news or whatever, it tells you need to be the best and you need to take every opportunity. And yes, you do, but you also need to bring others up with you. And I think you don't need to step on anyone's toes or go about it in the wrong way. I don't think it's meant for you if it's not happening organically and just how it should. I don't think you have to force it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But community is so important, and Eric 9 definitely keeps us all together. And yeah, I'm just grateful to be here. So props to everyone. You guys literally crushed it. It's so good, and I'm glad that I just have a couple little flowers. Thank you.
Y'all make some noise for her one time, one time, one time. Community, we coming together, man. They can't stop us. As a community, we're unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? The power is in numbers. So it's more people at the bottom than there is at the top. So never forget that. Never forget that. There's more people trying to get up than there is people already up. So, Daniel, what was that next person? I forgot that fast. Okay, let's make some noise for the one and only Thomas Ross. Come on, E. I know him as E. I'm like, who is this person? Urban hippie? What?
So again, I appreciate y'all guys coming out, everybody. As far as Thomas Ross, that's my creative moniker. That's my art name. Yeah, I do normally go by E or either Urban Hippie, but when I get a chance to really actually create or do some visual art outside of productions or experiences or things of that nature, then yes, I do go by Thomas Ross.
That's right. That's right. Get it right.
And yeah, so community over competition. The first time I heard it, it rang bells in my ears, and I told Eric, I'm like, yeah, this is something that, you know, we really need to first bring out to our community, and then also something that we can take to other communities that, you know, we feel like people will be able to jump on the bandwagon with and get behind because it's so positive. And so definitely in such a time to where, you know, everything, you know, and we go back and forth between what is a friendly competition and then competition when it gets to feeling real weird and on the negative side. And so inside the community, it's a way that everybody can come together and we can become one voice. So yeah.
Y'all make some noise for Mr. Thomas Ross. I don't even know this guy. All right, so I'm gonna bring up the man of the hour, and I say he's the man of the hour because he had the vision, you know, and not only the vision, but he took the initiative to make it happen, you know, and we need that. We need community leaders, you know, we need people with vision, but not only vision, but action, you know. Vision is just the beginning part of it, you know. These could just be ideas on your sketchbook or in your head, but until you actually physically do it and come out here and put the time and the work in to give it to the community, it's just an idea. And we all have ideas, but that action part is very, very important. And if you don't know, the action part is probably the hardest part, because you're going to get some pushback and diversities and different things like that. So we got to show love to community leaders and people that actually put in the work. So everybody, please, please, please make some noise for Eric 9.
Appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. So real quick on my piece, very much like Zaldi was saying, you don't get a lot of opportunities to show out on a wall and just have complete creative control without, you know, outside influences. So, and also, you know, I just wanted to have fun, and I think really that's what that painting represents. Is imagination and living life, chasing what excites you, and that's just like kind of like what we're about and what we're trying to put out there. As far as like community over competition, this is kind of a ongoing mission of me and a group of friends of mine, including Melania and Will. You guys come up here. So we have other initiatives outside of just the art that we're just, you know, just trying to give back. You know how the universe works. You give, you can't expect to receive.